What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel Super CBTV. It's your girl AP here. Last week on TikTok, a man by the name Alex Shaw posted a series of videos that would leave the whole internet stumped. Alec is a real estate investor and he has a property down in Florida that he rents out as an Airbnb. He also has security cameras installed, so in case there's any movement when he's not around, he's able to know. But this alert was a little bit more than Alec bargained for. You guys got to check this out.
This dude's coming onto my property to what looks like rob my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. And let me show you that. I literally can't even make this up. Like if I wanted to make this up, it blows my mind. This just happened yesterday. So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go, and he actually ends up going into my shed. So you can see he opens it, goes into the shed. So I'm fast forwarding the time so you can see there's no movement. He never leaves the shed. And I'm talking on the camera. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you in my shed? Never answers. He never leaves the shed. I literally was watching it the whole time. So I end up calling the police. You could see in the last one, the police coming through the front yard. And then here's the police coming into the backyard. And you could see they literally go inside. They go inside and I'm talking to them. Then they go inside again. Like they're inside there. And they come out and he's not there. And like I've been watching this backdoor camera the whole entire time and he never left. I really watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see him in there. And like it blows my mind. Like I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in that shed. Let me know what you think, because I'm like perplexed, flabbergasted.
And just like myself, a lot of people just assumed it was a glitch in his camera system of some sort.
I have an update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared. And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap. This guy walks around my backyard, goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside, and disappears. Called the cops came, they went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. I looked like an insane guy. The cops were like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard, and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe, glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy. He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him. Same facial features, whiter hair. So I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before. There was no movement that whole night. Then the next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my mind.
He's seeming to go out of his way to address a lot of people's questions and comments, and by looking at his TikTok account, he usually just posts real estate stuff. But check out Alex's next TikTok video.
People are saying the cops are fake and actors, so I'm going to show you the full recording of the cops coming, them going into the shed twice, and they even pull out at one point because like they're real cops. And I talked to them a little bit. See, at this part, you can see I'm talking to them. So let's go through that recording. And just as a disclaimer, if this was a skit, which it's not, I don't even know the first place I would do to start a skit like this. I would never waste the cops' time, resources, or money to come to my house. I pay taxes. I respect the cops a lot. I have friends that are cops. So I would never do that to the cops. So here's the recording with sound. It's a little long, so I'm going to kind of skim through it at some parts. But you can see they walk in, they yell police, they walk in with guns in a little bit right there. So at this point, they're like, there's nothing there. They go to my back door to like see if, you know, he broke in there. And then this is when I start talking to them here. So you hear me talk to them.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Was he not in that shed?
No, he was not. There's nobody in there. Both sheds.
What
Crazy.
the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry for wasting you guys' time. I really didn't see him leave the shed, though. So I don't know how he's not in there.
All right.
They go in again. See, now they're going in again. And like they go in deep this time. Like they go all the
There's
way
a
in.
light in there, too.
Still talking.
Sure.
See, nothing. Bless you, cop. So now they're gonna leave.
Okay. Coming. Sorry for wasting your time.
No, you're good. You're good, sir.
The way he's talking to the cops on his camera system feels totally believable. I feel like he literally wants help solving this. Then we get a very interesting update from Alex's TikTok account. Check this
But you
out.
still don't believe the story about the time traveler that went into my shed, disappeared, and then came back in the future. This video is going to change your mind. There's so much evidence supporting this theory. This guy named Matty Ice, he's been looking into this a lot. It's funny because he actually made a skit on part 1, kind of like making fun of me, but now he's come around to actually looking into this because this is real. So he's been looking into this story and he found some crazy evidence. To start this off, I don't support reaching out to anybody's families or anything like that. This is all speculative, but evidence kind of makes sense. So what he did is he did a reverse image search and he found this guy who looks pretty similar to our boy here. The crazy part is this guy was obsessed with time travel. And you can see 9 years ago, he used to post on blogs talking about time travel and how it works. So graduated from Harvard University, which is, you know, obviously impressive. So this guy knew his stuff. He was obsessed with time travel and he looks like our guy. So it's like, okay, it's probably him then, right? This guy died in 2018, 6 years ago, which by the way, how is 2018 6 years ago? That's crazy in its own. But 6 years ago, this guy died, but he looks the same and he was obsessed with time travel. We also found this, which is family members saying they miss him and that they, you know, love him and stuff like that in November 2018. We also found this, which is the same thing talking about his death, July of 2017. So this one also says he died in July of 2018, but then they posted in 2017. It's possible that they edited this text to, you know, give him a shout out how he passed away. Maybe his picture was posted beforehand, but still a little fishy, right? It was in 2017 saying, you know, he died in 2018, but whatever. He also found this interview notes, which I guess he was interviewed and somebody took notes of the interview. And in this interview, he was talking about his obsession with sound and time travel and how everything like that works in another dimension. This is all speculative. I didn't do any of this research. This is all Matty Ice. But this is crazy because there's a lot of coincidences. This guy looks the same. He was obsessed with time travel. He died. Somebody commented about his death a year before it happened. Mentioned that maybe the body wasn't found. I don't know how accurate that part is. But coincidences going back to this guy who looks like our time traveler. So yeah, pretty crazy. I definitely urge you not to reach out to this guy's family. They probably don't want to talk about this. I know if, you know, I had a family member pass away, I wouldn't want somebody calling me about this. But yeah, pretty interesting. You know, tag me if you guys find any more info on this.
Oh, I'm the crazy conspiracy guy. I get it. I'm gonna try and keep it together for this one. I think we might have found him. I think we might have found the time traveler. And if you haven't seen this video yet, this guy down here goes into a shed and disappears. And then the next day, this guy walks out of the shed. When I first saw this video, I thought it was just fake. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was some sort of skit. So much so that I stitched it with like a silly little I'm a time traveler thing. But I've gone through it and I can't figure it out. If it is a hoax, it's done well. But I also kind of think it's possible that there's a portal in the guy's shed. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but have you seen the show 11/22/63?
I need you to go in this closet, take a look around, then
I always liked that show, but it always bothered me that the time portal was in a pantry in a diner. Like, wouldn't they have figured that out when they built the pantry? But I guess, like, they're... maybe... I don't know. But it's like the same principle as what happened to the gentleman in the shed. Like, he went in as, like, what? Mid to late 20s? Came out early to mid 60s? So he might have spent 40 years in there? Like, well, in the past. And he's wearing modern clothes, so he could have brought, like... his backpack could have had a change of clothes in it for when he came back to the future. But what did he change? Because let's say he went back to 1960, spent 40 years, then he would have come back in 2000, like come back to 2024 in 2000. But I'm convinced that it's the same guy, because unless they're just really closely related, they have the same walk, the same mannerisms, the same facial structure. I don't know, I think it's pretty close. So if he's from this timeline, if he comes back to 2024, somebody's got to recognize him. Like, I mean, it's not the clearest picture, but somebody has to know who he is. But we also have to start looking in the past. Like, he couldn't have left no footprint. There has to be a picture of him or a story about him or something. Like, he can't have just done nothing for 30 or 40 years. There's got to be something history-wise that proves he was there. Start in Florida. That's where the guy's Airbnb is. But anyway, internet, do your thing. Come on, guys. We need to find this guy. We just need to find him and ask him some questions. That's all we need to do. Also, can somebody find out where that Airbnb is, where the shed is located? Because, want to try something.
Their body language is so confident when they're walking through the yard. They look like they know exactly what they're supposed to be looking for or the area that they're supposed to be in. But things just keep getting more exciting. Check out Alex's next TikTok post.
It's crazy. It gets even crazier. This next discovery just has way too many coincidences. I don't even know how this is like possible at this point. Like, there's just so many coincidences with this story. In case you don't remember, this guy was a Harvard professor that was obsessed with time travel. He was interviewed about time travel. He posted online about time travel, and he looks exactly like our guy. He died in 2018, so might not be our guy, but this next story is insane. Check this out. Stephen King. You probably know him. He's a well-known author. He's known as the king of horror books. He's very well known. He does eerily resemble a time traveler, as you can see here, but that's not what this is about. Stephen King is the author of this book called Fairy Tale. He wrote just 2 years ago, so it's very recent. But what this book is about is gonna blow your mind. Like, it's insane. This is a quick disclaimer. I never read this book prior to, making these videos. I don't really read that much. And if I do read, it's more like educational or like real estate books. It's not about like fantasy novels or horror. I hate horror. Long story short, what this book is about is there's an older guy. He has a shed in his backyard, and the shed has a staircase in it that leads to another realm with a fountain of youth. This is just a quick little snippet. Before his demise, he reveals that he is 120 years old and mentioned a gateway to another realm located in his shed. What? This is crazy right here, but there's more. The chapters, I thought the chapter names were pretty interesting. So chapter 3 is called A Hospital Visit, Quitters Never Win, and The Shed. Chapter 9 is called The Thing in the Shed. Chapter 17 is A Night in the Storage Shed, which, by the way, my shed is kind of a storage shed. It has a washer, dryer, and a water heater, and then like a couple shelves for storage. This sentence right here is pretty crazy. He talks about how there's a staircase in the shed, and he's afraid that if it goes into the wrong hands, people will exploit it. And this one's wild. Somebody went in the shed and shot something. I believe the book ends here, where they seal the shed so nobody else can find it and exploit it. Stephen King wrote this 2 years ago. I had never seen this book before. Probably never would have if it wasn't for this incident. So this is insane. Just to answer the most common question I get, when am I going to the shed? I will be going this upcoming weekend. So I'll be, making videos about it. I'm also going to be doing a 24-hour live stream in the shed. So follow and you'll get info on that and how to watch that.
And that's the latest with the TikTok time traveler. If there is any updates, any bizarre updates, I will definitely be letting you guys know. Don't forget to give me a like and a sub on your way out. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future episodes. I hope you guys really enjoyed this TikTok time traveler deep dive. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.